welcome to my channel. This is your girl Mami Ajoaka, in short Max. So you're welcome to Max Clothing. Today we are going to learn how to draft a pencil long skirt or a pencil slit. So if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Subscription is free. Just click on the subscribe button and you are done. And don't forget to click on the bell button also to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And so we are going to draft pencil long skirts or slits. So we have our ruler, our curves here, our tape measure, our pen for marking, and this is our drafting paper. And the measurements we are going to use are the waist measurement, hip measurement, and the length of the skirt or the length of the slit. And we are using waist 34, hip 44, and then the length we are using 40. In order to know the breadth or the width of fabric you will need, you take the bigger part of your measurements, and the biggest part is the hip measurement, which is 44. And so 44, then you add your allowance to it. The allowance, you are going to add about 12 inches allowance to it. The 12 inches is going to serve as sewing allowance and darts for your skirts. But because this is a pattern we are drafting, we are not going to add any allowance to it. After drafting and getting your pattern, when you place it on your fabric, you can add your allowance to it. So when we come to the waist is 34. 34, we divide it into 4. And 34 divided by 4 is going to give us 8.5. So place our 8.5 here. 8.5. Then you give it a dart, and so the dart allowance is 1. So it's going to be 9.5. So this is our 9.5. Then we'll measure from waist to hip. This is waist to hip. We are using 9. And so 9, this is 9. Then we measure our hip measurement. Hip, that is 44 divided by 4 is going to give us 11. 11. So we'll mark 11 here. We'll not add allowance, anything to it. Then when you come to the down part, where you are going to take your shape for you to get your pencil very well, you can come here. The waist is 8.5, and so you can come and measure the same 8.5 at the down here. At the down here. And this is it. But if you don't want to use the waist measurement, exactly the waist measurement for the down parts, then you are going to decide how fitting you want the down part. So maybe you want the fitting, you don't want it too fit at the down part, too much pencil at the down part, or you want it to be fitting, very fitting, then you will decide. But in this, I am using the waist measurement exactly for the pencil. Okay, so after you will just join the points. We'll just join the points. Okay, then we are going to rule from the hip line to the down part. Then we are going to add our darts on our pattern. My dart is 9. 9 divided by 2 is going to be 4.5. And so I'll mark 4.5 here. When you are marking your dart, it's not supposed to be exactly at the hip area. And so at the hip area, you go 2 inches above the hip area. And so 2 inches, we use 9. And so 2 inches is going to be 7. So I'll mark 7 here. And then at the 7 point, I'm going to mark my 4.5. I'm just cross checking to see if the 4.5 is okay. So rule out. And then we'll give ½ inch on at the waist, ½ inch here, ½ inch here. That is why we added 1 to 8. So you can see I've placed the half on the line. Okay, so half here and half here. We are going to join from this to the point to make our darts. Okay. So this is our darts. Okay. Okay, so we have our pattern. We have our pattern for either slits or long skirts. I'm saying for either slits or long skirt because in Ghana usually we call it slit and kaba. And most of the times our slits we don't usually cut. We just take the shape and what, and then sew the shape out and then leave the rest. And so if you are making it a skirt, long skirt, you have your fabric here, you have your pattern, then you pick your fabric. For the front parts, you will fold it into 2, including your allowance. You add your allowance to 8, and so the hip measurement is 11. I'm adding allowance of 2 inches, and that is going to give me 13. This is for the front part. So when you open 13, it's going to be 26. Then I'll just place this on it. This is the side, and this is the middle. And so I'll place it on it this way. I'll pin it. Then I'll add my allowance to it. So I'll come to the waist area, allowance 2 inches. Then I'll come to the hip area, allowance is what, 2 inches here. Then I'll come to the down parts. The down parts too, I'll add 2 inches to 8. And because I will fold this part, or I'm going to, if I will line it or I'll fold it, I'll measure, I will add the folding allowance to it. So maybe 1 inch, or let's say 2 inches, because we will need allowance at the upper part too. And so 2 inches or 1 inch will do. Then I'll mark here 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. So this is it. And so when I finish, I'll just pick my curve and join the points. I'll just pick my curve and join the points. Then when I come here, I'll just draw this to meet the 2 inches here. And so I'll just draw this. And then this is the 2 inches we marked here. This is the 2 inches we marked here. Then I'll join it to this place. Then I'll just cut. This is, I'm just using this as an illustration, so I'm not cutting. Then I'll just cut, and that is it. Then I'll have it for my front. Now when you come to the back, I will use the same thing for the back measurement. And so when I come to the back, because I'm going to give it a zip, I will go in by 2 inches. You see, we already have this, so I'm not going to talk about this part again because the shape is there. And so when you come to the back, because you're going to add zip to the back, you add your zip allowance. And so you fold your fabric to 13, then plus your zip allowance, maybe 1 inch or 1.5. So let me check this. The length of the fabric is what? The breadth 15, and so this one is 2 inches. And so if it's 2 inches, and so I'll place this at 2 inches. 2 inches zip allowance. So this is it. So this is my zip allowance. And so when I'm cutting, I'll cut from here to the shape and straight. And so that's how you do it with the back too. If you are using it for slit, as I said, in Ghana, most of the time our pencil slit, we don't cut. Just place the measurement on the fabric and then sew it together. So in Ghana, 2 yards of fabric here, I'm using it for. This is 2 yards for pencil slit. This is how we'll do it. After lining the fabric, I will just measure my 2 inches for the slit line. It depends on where you want your line to be, but this one, let's imagine that the slit line is going to be at the back. The slit line is going to be at the back. So if it's going to be at the back, I'll just measure 2 inches, or you can measure more, 3 inches or whatever inch that you want. So let's say we are measuring 3 inches. So after you hold it this way, make sure that it will be, the line will be in the middle. You have to make sure that this line will be in the middle. This line will be in the middle. So if this line is in the middle, let's see if it's in the middle. We are measuring everything. That is 32.5, and so we need 16.25. And so let's see, 16.25. This is where the middle is supposed to be. This is where the middle is supposed to be. So we are going to shift this a bit. Okay, so 16.25. So when you have it this way, bear in mind, in slit we don't add that. Rather, in slits, that is Ghana, our slit style, we don't add that. Rather, the waistline will be equal to your hip or bigger than your hip, so you can easily wear. And so if I pick my pattern, this is my pattern, I'll just place it here this way. Let me turn it. It's going to be exactly in the middle. Then I will trace my shape. But as I said, slits, you don't add that. Rather, you make the waistline big. And so I will use the same hip measurements here. The hip measurement here is the same thing I'll use. So this is 11. I will mark exactly 11 at the waist area. 11 here, or I can even decide to make it 13. So if I mark 11 here, 11 here, then 11 at the waist, and this one you will not add allowance to because the rest is going to be your allowance. Then I will mark 11 also here. So I'm going to trace it to the top this way. So this is it. I'll trace it this way. Then I will trace this. This is my shape. And so I'll trace this. Down. After drawing the shape in this way, you pick the paper, the pattern, then you place the pattern at the other side. You place the pattern at the other side, and this time around is going this way. You place it at the other side also. It's going this way. You pin it. Here too, you are going to measure the same 11 here. 11 here. Then you, from the hip to the waist, okay, then you trace it out. Yes. So when you finish and you take the pattern, you realize that you have your shape in it here and here. This is the shape. I'm going to turn for you to see. I turn. This is my pencil slit, as we say in Ghana, slit. But Nigerians will say skirt, or other people will say skirt, but we say slit. Usually slit refers to the line, and so this is it. This is my pencil slit, and so I will just put the rope here this way. Rope, I'll just add my rope to it and I'll have it and I'm done. Okay, now when you come to the back, I'll also decide how long I want my slit to be, or my slit line. I want it at 18, so it means I'll sew the back to this place, and then this place will be left open. And so this is the back of it. Then you see that we have a big allowance here. Let me to the spread so that it doesn't disturb you. And so this is going to be for your pencil slit. Very simple. This is very simple. You can make it and send me a picture of it. This is very simple. So this is for our pencil slit. Thanks so much for watching. Please, if you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing, and please don't forget to click on the notification bell.